Kristi Noem was extremely dangerous. Yes, she is. She's dangerous. No, well, she said cricket was extremely dangerous. And now she's saying it came to us from another family that had found it way too aggressive. Bullshit. Okay? This is another excuse. I want to see if this excerpt is published. In fact, let me play this because she was on Hannity, the stupidest man in, or otherwise known in the industry, by the way, as, I'm not saying this, it's what he's been known for, as the stupidest man in media. Okay? I didn't make it up. The people who worked with him, that's what they call him. All right? So, I'm just repeating it without, I've never worked with him, thankfully. Personally. Oh, God. But Kristi Noem was on Sean Hannity trying to make excuses for shooting a dog in the face and a goat. Let's not forget the goat. The goat's not getting enough play, in my opinion, in this incident. Because there's no reason for her to have killed the goat, too. Because it was smelly. That's why she killed the goat. It was smelly, she said. Smelly. Well, give it a bath. Get a hose out. Give it a nice bath. Animals like to take, some of them do. They like to be clean. They have a sense of self. They have a sense of self-esteem. They don't want to walk around in filth, half of them. I mean, well, not pigs and whatnot. But they do prefer, I don't know, whatever. I know they lick their own asses and whatnot, but hey, a lot of people have habits that a lot of, cats are, like, for example, I had a friend stay at my house once when I went away. And I said, where did the cats sleep? Because they sleep in the bed with me when I'm here. And she said, no, they wouldn't sleep with me. They slept in the living room. And I was like, wow, they have a lot more integrity than half the people I know, right? Not, I'm just kidding, of course, but, they have a lot more integrity than a lot of people. They're not going to sleep with somebody they don't know. They have too much self-respect or something. They're not just going to, give it away. All right. Hold on.
Dakota Governor Kristi Noem is facing backlash after an excerpt from her upcoming memoir was released. Now, Governor Noem tells a story about how she had to shoot and kill her 14-year-old
She had to. Don't you love the way that they frame it? And this is propaganda. And of course, we know that because this is a channel that has to pay $2 billion for lying to the dummies who watch it. The dummies who actively choose it as a news source. It's one thing to choose it because you like the entertainment value. It's another thing to turn on Fox News because you want to know the news. You want to know what's going on. You don't. Admit it. Admit it. You don't want the news. You're not trying to be informed when you turn on Fox News. Admit it to yourself. That's another thing with Republicans and their lack of self-awareness. I would have a lot more respect for them if they simply had that, just a modicum, just a pinch of self-awareness. My cats have more self-awareness. That's the truth. Because, don't kid yourself that you're watching Fox News because you want to be informed. You're watching it because you want your biases confirmed. That's it. You're not trying to learn anything new. You're trying to you're trying to remain, I should say, outraged. You need the level of outrage, and you want it reflected back at you in your tribe. I mean, at this point, there's no excuse. Because we could have said back in the day, before all the studies were done, that Fox News makes its viewers less informed than people who watch no news at all. Studies done by socialist organizations like Business Insider. And all of the lawsuits, yeah, but they won't take in that information. Why would a company that's putting out the truth pay those who are suing the company for being the brunt, the victim of their campaign of lies? Why would they pay that company for damages? Why would a jury of Americans look at all of the evidence and say, yeah, Fox News, you know what? You hurt that company with your filthy lies. Because if you had the truth, you would show it. It would be part of the lawsuit. Who wants to pay the largest fine for defamation in American history? Who needs that? Well, Fox News paid it, and hardly a blip on the radar in the minds of the people, the viewers / victims who actively consume it. Why? Because they're not consuming news. They want to be amongst their cult. Oh wait, well let's continue the Hannity clip. So she's on Hannity, making excuses for killing her dog.
South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem is facing backlash after an excerpt from her upcoming memoir.
After an excerpt
About how she had to shoot and kill her
14-month-old
dog because the dog was untrainable and, quote, less than worthless as a hunting dog. She also wrote about killing her family's goat shortly after, saying the goat was, quote, nasty and mean.
A goat. She had to kill a goat.
Smelled disgusting.
It smelled. Well, how do you I hear that Trump is like farting up a storm in that courtroom. Nasty, mean, stinks.
Book, No Going Back, the truth
no
of
going
what's wrong
back.
with politics.
Well, why are we going back to the
America
1800s?
Governor, I know you haven't.
There's no going back.
You have responded. You responded on X on Sunday.
There's no going back, everyone. Except if you're a woman, you're going back to pre-1860s.
And you gave more explanation to this.
No,
but
we're going back to the dark
ages.
ages.
You talk about this 14-month-old dog as untrainable. You describe
He's making
it as
excuses.
Trained assassin.
So the dog's a trained assassin, not her, not the one who dragged the dog to a gravel pit. Now, listen, if the dog was so unruly and unmanageable and a killing machine, how could she drag it to a gravel pit? I do animal rescue. You know that. If there's a cat who's not socialized or is unruly and unmanageable, there's no way you're getting near it. There's no way you're going to be able to drag it anywhere. Same with a dog. A dog would not allow her to grab it and drag it if it was vicious and unruly and untrainable and unmanageable. Especially if you're being aggressive to the dog is going to get scared. It's going to resist. It's going to fight. But she's telling us that this dog that had the taste of blood and was attacking everyone and everything, Kristi Noem, took this dog, a 50-pound dog, and dragged it to a gravel pit, and it didn't do anything. It didn't defend itself. It didn't attack. That's because she's full of shit. That's why. She's full of shit. And and so if you have an aggressive dog and you drag it to a gravel pit, it's just going to stand there and wait to be shot as you walk away? No. She's full of shit. That's why. It's probably the thing that breaks my heart is that dog was probably looking up at her, wagging its tail. What game is this? Look at her face.
How the dog was killing chickens of a local neighbor, and how the dog
killing
even went
chickens
to bite you
because it wasn't trained. I don't want to get into it because we did it last week too. The whole thing, going through it. She wants it to be a bird dog. She's not trained the dog. It has no training, and she's upset that it got confused by chickens. She wants it to just understand without any effort on her own part. And if it was so untrainable, take it to a goddamn shelter where somebody can adopt it as a pet, not a bird dog. This is, yeah, you're right, Kathy, on the chat. She's evil. This is evil. When you kill something for the mere fact that it's easier than doing the right thing, you have options. There are shelters. There are other, but that takes effort. And she was filled with rage. Oh, Cricket had ruined their hunting trip. That's what it was. Because Cricket wasn't just pointing at the birds because it wasn't trained. It was chasing the birds. It was a big game to Cricket, and she wanted to kill. She wanted to kill the birds, so she killed Cricket. Couldn't kill the birds, she killed crickets. Yes, that's right. Twisted Nerves painting. Exactly. This is psychopath. For real. For real. Look at her eyes. Her friggin' dead eyes. And that's the other... just an aside. I'm sure you saw Trump's tweet where he was saying that, I'm not sleeping in court. I'm just closing my beautiful blue eyes. And taking it all in. Is that how you take it in when as you're farting yourself awake, as Colin Jost said? He has blue eyes. That's why I was like shocked. Last week we were looking at their eyes up close to see if they had any life in them, and Trump doesn't. He's got blue eyes. They look like two goddamn shark eyes, like from Jaws. The marbles. That speech on the boat. Marbles, dead eyes.
That's
Trump's eyes.
Tell us in your words why it came
I had
to that decision.
kill.
I mean, unfortunately, dogs that are violent sometimes have to be put down.
Yeah, but there's a process if that's the case. The dog didn't do anything. It was young. You just didn't have the patience or the time. Or who cares? Everything else, everything is an object to you. That's what it is. Cricket is an object. It's not a living thing. It doesn't have the right. If it doesn't do what you want, then kill it. And that's like Trump. That's why he can't have a wife that is the same age as him, that makes the mistake of waking up every day and getting older. He needs to upsell, or he needs to re-up, or whatever. What's the word? He needs to get a new wife. Because that's a reflection of him. And he doesn't understand that it is a reflection of him. His weakness, his tininess, his fragileness, his inadequacies, how scared he is, how small he is, that he can't have he can't have a woman on his arm that isn't a trophy wife. So that's why Kristi Noem, I mean, look at her face. She's clearly spends as much time in the plastic friggin' plastic surgery office as she does at the cosmetic dentist office in Texas, where, that's another Republican for you, though. They threw some money at her, and she's like, these are the best teeth. I couldn't get them anywhere else, not even in my own shitty state. No, not thinking about the dentists in your state. This is the greatest. Nowhere on earth could I get great teeth like this. Not even in my own shithole state.
But I guess people, because you shot the dog, is there a difference which way you put a dog down?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure, but I don't know.
Yeah, there is. There is. Is there a difference? Well, why don't you get out the guillotine? Maybe hang the dog. String it up. How about draw and quarter? Break the dog on the wheel. I mean, we're going back to the 1600s. Let's take out the old forms of execution. Cricket, it was untrainable. She needed to learn. Break her on the wheel. That's a pretty disgusting way to go. Right? There's so many ways you could have done it. Get out the what is that? The Pope's pear. Disgusting. I don't know. What's the difference the way you kill it? The goal is the same. Just kill it. Well, that's why here in America, because we're unabashed hypocrites, of course, but we don't hang people anymore. We try to execute people with the least amount of pain, regardless of what they've done. I mean, you know me. I'm generally against the death penalty, except for serial killers, but serial killers that's a whole other story. So, and sociopaths, psychopaths, right? Because if you're if you have no feelings and everybody is an object, okay, that's one thing. If you're just killing people, hurting people, that's another. If you kill people for fun, then you don't get to play in the sandbox. That's just my opinion. But dogs are a different story. 14-month-old dogs aren't a lost cause, But the lost cause is Kristi Noem.
I don't think people understood it. I want to give you a chance to explain.
Well, Sean, you know how the fake news works.
Yes, it's fake news.
They leave out some or most of the facts of a story. They put the worst spin on it, and that's what's happened in this case.
From your
I hope
book.
people really do buy this book and they find out the truth of this story.
It's your words.
Because the truth of the story is that this was a working dog, and it was not a puppy. It was a dog that was extremely dangerous. It had come to us from a family who had found her.
If it's like I said, hold on.
Too aggressive. We were her second chance, and she
did she say that in the book, by the way, about we were her second chance? Bullshit. She wanted a hunting dog. Why would you take an aggressive dog and say and then give it no training? So now this is. I just want to look it up if that's in her book.
Part of our neighbors. She attacked me.
Bullshit.
And it was a hard decision.
Bullshit.
And the reason it's in the book
it wasn't
is
hard.
This book is filled
it wasn't hard. It was a snap decision. It wasn't hard at all. You said I hate that dog. Right? They all lie. Jim on the chat says she just lies. They all lie. As easily as breathing. It's all to elicit a reaction from whoever they're talking to. if the first lie did, well, that's not a lie. This is the problem with Republicans. They tell the truth, and then it's a gaffe, right? Then it's a fake news. It's not, you're misunderstood. When the truth is out there, that's when all the fake news cries, and that's when they all have to do damage control. And then the lies come. But she counts on the stupidity of the people who will vote for her again.